Hi, I'm Louise and I'm the wife, and I am here to talk about being a wargamer widow. So you're dating a wargamer and now you have to deal with his hobby. I was once World of Warcraft widow. Or at least that was how I felt. My ex played a lot of WoW and was raiding thrice every week, and our whole life was scheduled around this hobby, and I found that I was waiting for him to finish, waiting for him to have time for me, to have time to eat the dinner we cooked. And I was less than appreciative when it came to farming, questing, all those things. And now I'm the wife of a wargamer, and I believe that there are many girls, out there who feel that this hobby is taking time away from the relationship. But you see, it's just a hobby. I know it's not a normal hobby. A normal hobby would be playing soccer or watch soccer in the television, or going out partying, or going to the gym, or playing chess, something like that. But still, it's just a hobby. And my first tip for you, my first recommendation, is to get a hobby yourself. Adulting can be tedious, right? You go to work, you do the grocery shopping, you cook, you eat, you walk the dog, you sleep, and you do it all over again the next day. Having a hobby is something to look forward to, something that makes you happy. And before he met you, he did not have you to make him happy. He had wargaming, and he still has that. And you probably have a hobby too. Perhaps you don't think of it as a hobby. Perhaps you do needlework, or you read crime novels, or you go to the gym, or you play volleyball, or do yoga, or whatever. And that's your hobby. And you do that because it makes you happy. Being a wargamer is not really that different. So if you break it up, it's creative, right? You paint your miniatures, you assemble them, you convert them, kit bash and all that. It's social. He's spending time with his friends, and they're not drinking themselves senseless, and he's having fun. He has war stories, he has inputs. It's also strategic. It's not physical, it's kind of a mental hobby. Very much like playing chess, really. You won't get a boyfriend who looks like this. you will probably get a boyfriend who looks more like this. Friendship is magic. Magic is heresy. And but still, it's great traits. It's a great hobby, and one thing that I have come to appreciate is wargamers tend to have a great cultural understanding. They can understand people who come from totally alien, different foreign cultures and understand their motivation and their actions. And that's extremely important in this multicultural world we live in. So that's really great. That's awesome qualities. Of course, the hobby is also messy. It's home cluttering. It is time consuming and it's expensive. But your hobby is most likely, it has its downsides too, right? You may not think of it like that, but most hobbies are really like that in some way or the other. So it's just a hobby. The downside to wargaming is that it is stigmatized, right? Your friends or your family, your mother asks, where is he at? Where did Aaron go? And this is extremely important. What do you answer? Do you say, oh, he's out doing his thing, you know, such a man-child, can't grow up, plays with his little toys. If that's your answer, then that will reflect on him, and that will reflect on their view on you being with him. Then you add to the stigmatizing hell wargamers are living. If you want your friends to think that your new boyfriend is cool, then you have to talk it up a bit. Focus on the positive sides. We've just went through them. There are plenty. He's doing this awesome thing with tiny miniatures, and he's turning them into work of art, and it's amazing, and I have no idea how he does that. And he's playing with his friends, and they are having fun, not drinking themselves senseless. They are they're actually being in the same room. It's not like playing around, wow, right? Or League of Legends, there is no flaming, it's positive interaction with other people. And if you talk about it like that, talk it up a bit, then your friends will think it's somewhat cool. Okay, fair enough, it's just a hobby. And so that's step 2. First step, get a hobby if you don't already have one. Step 2, don't badmouth his hobby. And this comes with a lot of benefits, you know, because if you are positive when it comes to his hobby than he will be too when it comes to yours. It sets you free, really. He will never complain about you spending money on something or going somewhere for the weekend. It's okay. You can both have time-consuming, expensive, messy, home-cluttering hobbies. And of course, I realize that your home will be extremely cluttered if you're going down that road. But you can do whatever you want when you're dating a wargamer. And you really should. I too have a hobby. I go into the woods and I forage herbs and plants and I bring them home. I grow a lot of fruits and vegetables in the garden. I'm trying to be self-sufficient when it comes to food and veggies. And that's my hobby, really. I'm the village witch around here. And when I tell Aaron, honey, we really need a dehydrator so I can dry stinging nettles for winter, he says, awesome, let's do that. And I tell him, honey, tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock, I will go out into the woods and I will forage, let's say, stinging nettles. And he will say, awesome, that's so cool. And that really makes a better relationship if you give each other the space to have a hobby. So what does a wargamer look like if you give him this acceptance? If you if he is surrounded by a community that thinks he is cool, that doesn't force him to be an adult and serious and boring as hell. How does he look like? So let's take Lasfar as an example. Lasfar is a teacher, he's a social worker, he's an event manager, and he works as a herald at medieval fairs. Tournaments, knights, lances, horses, and he's extremely awesome at it, really. And he does that all around Europe. And Ronan, high school teacher, commission painter, he paints other people's minis. And he's also a paid NPC at LARPing events, non-playing character. He adds to the story, really. So yes, if you are surrounded by people who don't force you to hide away in the basement, to be ashamed of this hobby, then it can actually be a paid job some way or the other. And well, it's not all about work, right? Let's take Aaron as an example. We have a son, 3 years old, Vida is called, and Aaron is probably the most awesome father you have ever met. And wargamers tend to be great fathers, great parents, really, because they are creative, imaginative, they can relate to the children. We are back to the man-child part, or if you put it in positive spin, then being excited, being playful, being still have this ability to get excited over little things, to play, to... Vidar will learn from his father, of course, how to paint, but he will also learn how to play games. And why are games important? Because children have to learn that there are rules, that it is not their turn, that they are restricted, their actions are restricted. It's an extremely part of being part of our community, that there are rules that restrict our actions, and he will learn that from his father. I met Arndt doing live action role-playing, and so yes, I'm kind of a nerd myself, I know. But Arndt will teach our son how to make a bonfire, how to fight with a sword, how to quote Darth Vader, how to paint, how to chop wood, and I will teach him about nature, and that's important, at least for us. So, Wargamers, great parents, and if met with acceptance and appreciation, they can actually be adults who enjoy their work, who enjoy waking up every morning and doing the adult thing. So yeah, I definitely recommend not hiding away your new boyfriend's hobby, not hiding him away in the basement, not refusing him to take the hobby inside the home. Though of course they are part of the hobby, that should definitely not be in the living room. Airbrushing, drilling, converting, gluing, that's not just messy but also quite poisonous. And if you, like us, have a small home, we have an extremely tiny house, and whatever you're thinking now, no, it's tinier than that. We live 48 square meters, and we game inside and paint inside, but the conversion assembling part is that's going on in the shed. That's just how it is. I don't dry my herbs inside the living room either. It's just not the space for it. So, yeah, I think that's about it. And of course, what I should end with is join the dark side. I'm not saying you should be a wargamer. I'm saying try it out. You would love your boyfriend to join you for a yoga session, right? Or to go watch one of your games, whatever it is, chess, volleyball, you would love him to go with you to the theater, whatever your hobby is, really. Taking an interest in each other's lives, in each other's hobbies is important. You don't have to play a game yourself. Go watch a game. Go try painting a miniature. You will definitely appreciate whatever he's doing with these miniatures after you tried it yourself, because it's extremely difficult. It's hard work. It's crazy, really. But try it out. Be that girlfriend, really. And yes, of course there are girls who play war games. I'm not really talking to you unless you want to show this video to your non-wargaming boyfriend or girlfriend. And I realize now that if you are a wargamer widow, and if you feel like you're looking in from the outside and that you are competing with this hobby of his, you will never watch this video unless your wargaming boyfriend shows it to you. Because there is no way you will find this video on YouTube by yourself. And if you do, awesome, really awesome. So I guess I should say take care and bye bye, but I should probably think of something else, right? Have a nice day.